Hi. Hello. What's up? It's me again, doing the thing. So, Striker Titan, aka Arc Titan, because I've been using flavors instead of their quote unquote names. We're gonna do the cookie cutter build for this one. You're gonna be throwing hands. Who'da thunk it? Titans throwing hands. Anyways, um, aspects are Touch of Thunder and Knockout. Fragments, Spark of Amplitude, Spark of Magnitude, Spark of Shock, Spark of Recharge. Uh, Grenade is Pulse, that's my favorite, although you do have options I'll go over. Um, Seismic Strike, same thing. Um, Thunder Crash, I don't think this one's super optional actually. This one's probably the best for burst damage, so on and so forth. The other super's just not quite as good. Although if you just want to have fun, sure. Um, Also Spark of Recharge. I don't even use it in this thing. I think I changed my mind on that. I think Spark of Recharge was just an easy, it's going to be activating for you thing, but I don't think it's worth it even if you're like new to the game. I don't think it's good enough. Cool, movie magic. Now we're going to show uh, Touch of Thunder, one of the aspects, and Magnitude. Where are you, Magnitude? There you go. Of course, it doesn't appear on top of this. Why? Why can't you be on top of this, Magnitude? Haha. Yep, in-game editing or in editing. Anyways, so let's start this from the top again. All right, you look. One, two, three, four, five. Did I math that right? One, two, three, four, five, six. Six pulses. Six pulses, and that is without Spark of Magnitude, because Spark of Magnitude gives you more pulses. I'm gonna let it go to that in the background while I explain why we use pulse grenades. We use those pulse grenades because dealing damage with those pulse grenades while you have Touch of Thunder will create traces. Traces give you your abilities back as well as track to you, so it's easy to get your abilities back. So using your grenade will get your grenade back. That alone is good. I don't know who's complaining about that. So here we're about to go with Spark of Magnitude. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Went from six pulses to nine pulses. That's why you combine Touch of Thunder and Spark of Magnitude together. Then we have Knockout. This is your other aspect. Basically, you deal damage to something, and if you deal enough damage to it or break its shield, which is specific, you get knockout. Knockout looks, you know, numbers wise here, looks like it about doubles your melee damage. Also, if you get a melee kill after with knockout, then you will automatically become amplified, which sets into motion a lot of other stuff. Also, any kills you get with knockout punch will immediately start health regeneration. Um, so you can heal yourself by punching things. Again, we throwing hands. Titan build. Of course we are. And then we have Spark of Shock. Just whenever you deal damage with your grenade, you will jolt things. As you can see here, the guy's jolted, and he deals damage to everybody around him. I'm doing it at 200 speed because I feel like my videos have been too long. This ought to speed it up a bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's all it does. It sounds really simple, but it does help in any damage situation. Remember, once you jolt something, all the damage it takes has a chance to proc jolt, which just kind of sticks to a person. And once you deal enough damage, then they will do the little explosion thing that you see here at the end. That thing. Which hurts nearby enemies and also stuns the target if it's still alive. But this guy doesn't have enough health because he's a bitch. And lastly, as you can see, we will have Spark of Amplitude. This fragment, rapidly defeating targets will create an orb of power if you do it while you're amplified. To get amplified, if you don't know already, which you should, you just got to get multiple kills with an arc weapon while you're on an arc subclass. Or because we have knockout, you could just punch something after you deal a little bit of damage and proc knockout, right? And once you do that, you'll see here, you start to make orbs. The other thing here, which you'll see in the video, going in fast forward motion, Spark of Beacons. Whenever you get a kill with a arc special weapon, this is why trace rifles are really good for this. With an arc special weapon, while you're amplified, uh, the people around the dead person will be blinded. It'll do a blinding explosion. So it'll just help you shoot things without getting shot back. It's really good, really simple. It just means that you want to be using the arc special weapons with arc, which is kind of unique to arc. Almost every other subclass kind of wants you to be using a primary with it, but arc says nah, bro. We want you using a special weapon. I wish they would have did this again, but like with some sort of heavy weapon buff. Um, but that's neither here nor there for this part of the video. So yeah, next topic. Just wanted to go over a thing or two here at the end, just so we're all on the same page. Um, Seismic Strike here is my preferred melee. You could run in there and blind some things, makes life really easy. Don't forget that blind does stun unstoppables, which means that you can run in and just stop an unstoppable by punching it. Because again, we are Titan, therefore we punch the thing, right? What else? Ballistic Slam is neat. It doesn't have the utility of Seismic Strike. I think they should like increase its damage when you're amplified or something. It needs something other than just you dive down, you know. Thunderclap is interesting because there are a couple of exotics that work with it directly. Basically, you just kind of charge up this short range Kamehameha, which is cool. But again, the most utility comes from Seismic Strike, which will blind enemies. Makes life really, really, really easy. Also, if you're already amplified, when you do this, you will blind in a larger AoE, which just makes you safe when you go in to just decide to punch everything else. Um, Pulse Grenade is my preferred here, although you could go with Storm Grenades. They do the same thing. The difference is that with Touch of Thunder, what Storm Grenades will do is just kind of last longer. But they've nerfed this multiple times because it was really, really broken early on. So I think Pulse Grenades are probably the way to go. But give or take, use what you want. Uh, the third option is Flashbang Grenades. With Touch of Thunder, your Flashbang Grenade will, on first contact with the ground, do a small AoE radius of blind, and then once it explodes, it will do its normal AoE radius of blind, which means it can blind twice, which just is really nice. And again, don't forget, blinding stuns unstops, which makes your life a lot easier. Also, Jolt deals with overloads, so you can actually kind of go to a flashbang grenade in the situation where there are both uh, unstoppables and overloads, and your grenade can just kind of do all the work for you, and your melee can help pick up the slack. Also, beacons will help you deal with those blinded nades as well. It's a really interesting way to deal with the multiple champion types and do it from safety as well. You don't necessarily have to be in the fight. You can just kind of throw a grenade and then it deals with most things for you. I think that's it. Um, I do want to note again the specific loop that I mentioned is to throw a pulse grenade at a group of energies. My God, at enemies. This is because if you throw it at a group of enemies, then per pulse you can get 1 to 2 ionic traces that just help you get your grenade back. It's also useful in throwing it against single beefy targets because A, it does a lot of damage. B, each pulse, because the guy's still alive, has a chance to get you an ionic trace. Um, Also, you'll be applying that jolts to the target. So Titan's really simple on Arc. It's not super meta. To be fair, the only thing that was ever really good about Arc Titan is its super, but it has been overshadowed by Strand. Strand kind of eats this thing's lunch. So if you're looking for a way to go in and punch things, but have it be like super effective, look out for the Titan Strand video. That one's going to be harder to detail just because of how good it is. Sorry to shit on Arc Titan, but I don't think my wife likes it anyway, so it's fine. Later.